Mm.
Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 44 years. Normally I'm here talking to you about my contemplations on the lessons or in the text, but today I have a special treat for us. My dear friend, Sabrina Rollins has joined us, Reverend Sabrina Rollins, and we're going to talk about how to be in the world while waking up. And there's a lot going on in the world right now. So this should be a pretty lively conversation, I would think.
Mm.
Sabrina, I'm happy to have you here today having this discussion with me. But before we begin, would you mind telling our audience a little bit about yourself?
Yes, and thank you so much for having me, Myron. I'm really excited to talk about this subject. But a little about me, I give a little background about my spiritual journey as well, what brings me to this point. But I'm a counselor. I have been in counseling for about 33 years, and about a year or so ago, I decided I wanted to do spiritual counseling exclusively. And so I was looking around for how to go about doing that. And one opportunity came up and it didn't work out for whatever reason. I just, I thought it was the right way. I really wanted it and it just didn't work out. And I didn't understand that, you know. And so I kept asking Spirit, I don't get it. And and then a few months later, I was at a workshop, an online workshop, and you were there. You were the speaker, Myron. I don't know if you remember this or not.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, you were the speaker, and I was, here on my Zoom, watching. And the moment that I heard your voice, it's always just, I don't get it. It's just the moment I heard your voice, I don't even know what you said. I just know I heard your voice. And Spirit just talked to me. I mean, it was like, ta-da! This is why. This is why the other thing didn't work out. This is what I was hearing in my head. And I listen, and I really felt, I said, listen to this. This is your path. And I didn't know. But then you talked a moment about pathways of light and how you became a minister through that. And I said, minister? I'm not a minister. I've never wanted to be a minister. I just want to do counseling, and so but I will tell you, my reaction was so extreme. I had to actually turn off the Zoom because
Mhm.
I was bawling, which
Oh,
was just like, what is going on with me? I can feel it right now. And so I said, okay, okay. So then I got calmed down and went through the workshop. Um, and then when I got off, I thought, I never set out to be a minister. That's not what I said, Spirit. you know? And so I kind of tried to ignore it for a month or so, you know, and um, it just kept coming back. So I finally said to Spirit, okay, I'll take the first step. I'll do one thing. I'll call Pathways of Light and just see what the process is. And so I did. I called and talked to a lovely woman who gave me the details. So then I said, okay, what's step two? And then I took the next step and then the next step, and everything kept falling in place. And I was getting very close, to making that final decision. And then, they said, well, now you need to ask somebody to be your kind of like your mentor, your guide through the program. And of course, your name came up in my mind. So I thought, oh, she's probably too busy, but I'll call. Okay, I'll call her. And you said you would love to do that, but you only had one spot available. And I was thinking in my mind, okay, I work still, it's probably not going to work out. And that happened to be an ideal time for me. And so as you know, we spent a year and a half or so together
Yeah.
and studying the courses and going through the program. And then I was able to get ordained in December, which is still kind of a shock to me.
I understand.
So when somebody says Reverend Sabrina, I'm thinking, who? You know. But anyway, I followed. The thing that was important to me was that I followed my guidance,
Yeah.
inner guidance. And
Yeah.
so where that's going to lead, Myron, I don't know for sure. But I'm thrilled to be here. I am a West Virginia native. If anybody has heard of the state of West Virginia, not Virginia, West Virginia. And I've been down here in Southwest Florida for about 10 years. And I have had two sons. My older son lives down here, and that's why I moved down here from West Virginia to be with him and his family. But my younger son transitioned about 10 years ago. That's the prompt I had. I had a life-changing event, and everything just changed after that. And so I moved down here to be with my other son and to just recover, from that. And if, I say recover, but I mean, to deal
Sure.
with it. And while I was down here about 8 years ago, I had heard of A Course in Miracles. And I thought that sounds interesting. And so I happened to find a book for like $5 in a bookstore. And I
Oh.
thought, I know. And so I picked it up and I brought it home all excited. I opened it up and looked at it. I thought, this is gobbledygook.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Closed it up, put it on the shelf. And but then a little bit of time went by, and a spiritual center here was having classes, in-person classes. This was before COVID. And I thought, that's it, I'll go to that. And once I did that and I opened it up again, it was like, oh, this is really English. I can understand it. And, and I started reading it voraciously. And to me, it felt like I was coming home finally. Phew, I can feel it. I just
Yeah.
found what I was looking for my entire life.
Yeah.
Um, I had come from a very strict dogma, doctrine kind of
Mhm.
faith. And while there was lots of good intentions, and I learned a lot with that, it just never fit me,
Yeah.
you know, just never fit me. And I was in that for quite a long time. After my divorce in around 30 or something like that, I call it, I went wandering in the desert and left that way of thinking, but I didn't know what I was then or where I was going. And so I just kind of went all different paths, different times until I found the course. And then, like I said, that's it. I don't have to search anymore. I have
Yeah.
found it.
Yeah.
I've probably told you more than you wanted to know
Oh,
about
that's
me.
wonderful. I love hearing about people's origin stories without
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
into the course. And of course, it's so funny because whenever you asked about me being the facilitator for you, I had just said, okay, my schedule's full enough, no more. And so whenever you asked, I'm like, well, okay, if it works, then it's supposed to work. Because I've always said that, and he tells us in the course, he said that mm, when the teacher's ready, your student will find you. It's already
Yeah,
your student already, it's just,
yeah.
so I've always felt that was true. And so whenever so that's why I said, okay, I've got the one spot open. So it's just perfect. I'm so
It
glad I
was.
said yes because I so enjoyed working with you. And I'm
Me too.
happy
Me
to
too.
continue because Sabrina and I are also doing other studies with Pathways of Light. They have another,
Mhm.
uh, a whole section of courses that are based on A Course in Miracles according to, doesn't start at the beginning and go through like that. It goes through by topic. And so she and I are working on one right now. I can't remember which one are we doing?
Well, it's called 909 Health and
Uh,
Wellness, I
it's about
think.
health and well, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
healing through, see, I forgot the name of it, but anyway, it's about health, about
yeah.
healing. A lot of it's about healing the body. And
Hmm.
that's of interest to a lot of people. So I really enjoy doing that one. And we're doing it in a group. So it can be
Yeah,
done one-on-one or it can be done as a group. And I'm finding the group experience has been a lot of fun. A lot. I
yeah,
really enjoyed that. And a lot of people have also, because they don't
yeah,
get just one-on-one. Now they're getting a whole group. They get to hear how everybody's doing things, how they're healing, how they're
yeah,
understanding what the course is telling them.
yeah,
So that's fun too. So I'm glad we've continued to work together.
yeah, yeah. I love groups.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
So, in fact, let me just go and do a little plug for myself right now. I have a group starting on Tuesdays at 10:30 Central Time in the morning. And we have finished, I had two groups doing the healing because there were so many people that wanted to do it. So that one has finished. And so we're going to be starting another one, which is 9:20, which is being a miracle worker. And
Mm.
so I'm looking for that one is going to be a lot of focus in the manual for teachers. So
Ah.
I'm looking forward to starting that one with that
Mm.
group as well. So I do have a couple of openings. So if anybody's interested, you can get in touch with me. I'm sure it'll fill up pretty quickly, but I'd be happy to have some new people in it.
Yeah,
Some of the people, of course, who've done the one before are going to stay, but there'll still be a couple of empty places.
yeah.
So, so let's talk about
Mm.
about being in the world right now and what it's
Mm.
like to be in the world at this time and how we can be in it and not lose our way
Yeah.
at the same time. And how does that feel to you right now, Sabrina?
Well, it has been a challenging last year, year and a half. Definitely. I actually even had some physical, what I think are physical, manifestations of what was going on inside of me.
Yeah,
And I dealt with digestive issues and heartburn, just constant and very disruptive.
no,
And
that's
it
very
finally,
symbolic, isn't it?
yes, yes,
That your heart was
yeah,
burning.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And it, finally dawned on me, okay, the question was, what am I not able to digest right now?
Mm,
And then that was like, it was really hard to digest everything that was happening. And but I'm happy to say that it's much, 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 much better now. I hardly have anything like that. So I've learned a lot.
yeah,
I've learned a lot over the last year of how to, for me anyway, how to manage, how to navigate. It's like you got to navigate through this, with all this happening on every side of you, you know.
yeah,
So a lot, it's
sure.
it's challenging. I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yeah, me too. Now that you've mentioned that about how it affected your health and how you dealt with that,
Hmm.
um, I just wanted to like reinforce this idea. And I'm looking right now at the psychotherapy section of the
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
and there's a usually my I read it so often it usually opens up right to it. Let me see if I can find it. It was talking about that very thing. It says, okay, it says sickness takes many forms, and so does unforgiveness. The forms of one but reproduce the forms of the other, for they're the same illusion. So that's what you were noticing, right? Is that it
Yeah.
was so closely as one translated into the other that a careful study of the form a
Hmm.
sickness takes will point quite clearly to the form of unforgiveness that it represents. And so you were right there with that. You were seeing
Oh,
what
yes.
is it that I'm not digesting. And then
Right.
it said, yet seeing this will not effect a cure. That is achieved by only one recognition that only forgiveness heals an unforgiveness, and
Yeah.
only an unforgiveness can possibly give rise to sickness of any kind.
There you
So,
go. There you go.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so you had to do some forgiveness work when it came to the
I sure have.
yeah,
I
yeah,
sure have.
yeah.
Yes.
I know what you mean. Me too. What particular is there something like particular you wanted to mention about that?
It was just hard for me to even believe that some of the things happening was even possible.
Mhm.
You know, it's like
Sure.
my mouth was just open, a lot of the time, and I could not accept it. And that's exactly what the digestion was. I
Mhm.
could get the food down, and then about here it got stuck.
Yeah,
It was like I can't accept it, you know. So I had a lot of different experiences. I that really, really helped me. The thing that really helped me the most was remembering who I am,
yeah,
who you are, but also who I'll say they are.
sure.
Who the they in anybody's life, the they that is, you know, causing problems, the they that is doing things that we judge as, horrendous or bad or wrong or whatever. Um, I I had to remember who they were.
Yes,
I had to remember that.
exactly.
And sometimes I have dreams and sometimes the dreams are really powerful with that, showing me that um, we're one. We are one.
Yes,
We say that all the time, don't we? Oh, we're one. But when it really, I don't know, when you really get to thinking about it and it really hits you, you know, they are me.
yes, yes.
That person is me,
Right,
right?
right.
And and so that's really been in my face in a good way, that we are one.
Yeah,
And I mean, there's just so many things. I'm trying to think
yeah.
of,
Well,
let me give you a chance to talk.
I was just thinking while you were saying that is that that was the first thing I had to do was to heal my mind.
Yes.
Because no matter what anybody else did or didn't do, the my problem was my mind. It was how I
Hmm.
was looking at them.
That's right.
And so I've learned to recently, probably most recently, the one thing from the course that has really made a difference to me was when I was reading in chapter 14, section 5, which is the Circle of Atonement, which is one of my favorite sections. I did a whole weekend workshop on that one section one time
Uh-huh.
because I loved it so much, and it wasn't a great workshop. Now that I'm now that I've learned more, I understand that. But still, it was meaningful to me even before I fully
Right.
understood it. But one
Right.
thing he says in there, one sentence, and I put it in first person, and I keep it in
Yeah.
my on my calendar so that every time I look down, I see it. My only calling here is to devote myself with active willingness to the denial of guilt in all its forms.
Yes.
That
Yes.
has meant so much to me because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. The way he put this, my only calling, that's it. That's all I'm supposed to do. If I did this, then I would wake up. Is that what he's saying? And yes, he
Mhm.
is. Because if I'm holding anyone guilty, myself or anyone else, then I'm asleep.
Mhm.
I'm asleep. I'm dreaming because we can't be guilty. God
Mhm.
created us innocent. We can only be innocent. There's no
Yeah.
other choice.
Yeah.
So my only calling is to devote myself. And that was whenever I don't know, I heard that word devote and I thought, I've never felt a sense of devotion. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do. I feel it now.
Mhm.
Always before, well, I'm gonna say not always, but for a long time. it was it was like I was just trying to put one foot in front of the other. I was trying not to be so miserable,
Right.
so but now that devotion, oh yes, I am fully devoted to this. And I
Yeah.
could, it's like you were talking about whenever you realized you were supposed to do this, become a
Hmm.
minister. It was the same for me. That was one of the few times when I just knew. Only when I knew that, it was like, really? So this
Exactly.
time, though, this time, I'm fully devoted to this. I can feel it in my heart every time I say it
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
active willingness. And I'm like, okay, what does he mean by that? Active willingness. And so I just said, well, he'll show me. And he has. He's shown me um, like I would say, um, I would be maybe I was having uh, a moment whenever I was feeling very judgmental
Hmm.
about someone, about Trump, maybe about the ICE guys, about
Hmm.
somebody I don't even know who it is, but he said something I didn't agree with, whatever.
Right.
So I would just say the words. It's like I was going around sprinkling magical course stuff all over it. It's like we're one, it's okay. And it wasn't working. And that, he told me active willingness. Be willing to actively forgive, to put your
Mm.
heart into this, to
Yes.
mean it on that deeper level that you really,
Yes.
really want this. And that's the only way only words I can give to it, but that's how it felt to me.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
started doing it with active willingness and not putting it off like, yeah, I need to work on that. No,
Hmm.
active willingness right now. And it
Hmm.
says an active willingness to the denial of guilt in all its forms. And it comes in so many forms.
Oh yeah.
Like it could be guilt against myself for something I did when I was 5. I mean, the ego holds all those guilt things ready for you. The moment you've got a
Right.
free moment, they're going to give you one. Or it could be um, how I'm seeing someone else guilty because of this or because of that. It could be like whenever I think of one of my children and I think, oh no, I can't. I'm so worried about this child because. That's just saying they're guilty. They're guilty of
Hmm.
making me feel bad. They need to straighten up and fly right so I don't have to feel bad anymore. So I'm just seeing it in so many different forms, and he's pointing it out to me, and it's just really been
Yeah.
extremely helpful. And then
Yeah.
the one other thing that's been very helpful is, and I've read this so many times, why all of a sudden it matters, I don't know. But Holy Spirit, decide for God for me. And I have
Mm.
started doing that all the time. I wake up to that. I use it during the day. I go to sleep with it.
Hmm.
Holy Spirit, you decide for me, he says, and it is
Hmm.
done.
Mm.
And I'm taking him at his word. It is done.
Yeah.
And so, even like when I'm having thoughts about a grievance or something, it's like,
Hmm.
Holy Spirit, you decide for me how to think.
Hmm.
It's like a form of complete surrender.
Yes.
Even my thoughts, my words, my actions, everything, you decide for me. So that's been really, really helpful to me.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very similar, but yet a little different slant. I think each of us, Spirit takes us to where, right where we are, wherever that is, and then just gently, you know, takes
Yeah.
us down that road. And sometimes it doesn't feel very gently, but yeah, I've had moments like that as well, and it's amazing. I mean, when I really started noticing the healing when I started doing meditations, that just came to me during a prayer, or, just middle of the night. You ever wake up in the middle of the night? And I do a lot. And it's like you're in that little fuzzy twilight world, you know, you're not quite in this world and you're not quite out of it. And it's like spirit can just talk to you. I don't know. That's how I
Yeah.
experience it.
Yeah.
And I started really focusing on the people that I thought was causing me a lot of trouble, you know, like you said. And I started loving them.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds so simple, but it's like I just started, first I would get in touch with the love inside, okay, the love that I am, which
Yeah.
we all are. And then I would let that extend out to those people, to that, to whatever. Actually, it would end up being the whole world, but you know, it would. And little by little, I started to actually feel it. I didn't necessarily feel it in the beginning, you know, but then in my heart, I started feeling close to that person or um, having just love and compassion for them. And, you know, it seems so counterintuitive when their actions, their outer personality, their, you know, the ego is just shining through, you know. But then I started, you know, feeling like, oh, they're just me. That's me.
Yeah.
They're me. And I may have similar feelings and thoughts hidden away in me. Maybe I'm not acting them out in a the same way. There are times, and I bet you in the past or past lives, who knows? I bet we've all
Hmm.
contributed to that, you know? And so now we're healing. I believe we're in a time of healing. That is what um, I get when I talk to Spirit about it. And there's actually a story that I heard just recently that makes so much sense to me. And it's you know how there's Greek and Roman mythology. Well, there's also mythology with Mesopotamia. And I've never heard of this I guess like a goddess or something. I've never heard of this myth, but her name is Erishkigal. It's really a hard name to say. I'm not even sure I'm saying it correctly. But what I got from it was she was in charge of the garbage dump, which I just love. I think she was like the goddess of the underworld, but it was one of the versions is all of humankind's miscreations, all of our misdeeds went into this garbage dump. People would just dump it in there and hide it away and not deal with it. You know, all these negative things, bad things, all of that. Until, you know, one day this garbage heap got too full, right?
Yeah.
And Arishka Gill had enough. She was like holding it all, right? So if you can just imagine mountains of miscreations. And if we think about all the eons, however long it's been that we've, you know, been in this dream, it would be mountains, right? So she starts to let it out, and she lets out a giant scream. And two souls come by and they witness. They stand there silently and they witness all the misdeeds, all the miscreations of humankind. And they do it without judging.
Oh man.
They do it without guilt and shame and blame. And to, they don't attach to the dream. They just witness. And you know, not too long after that, just happened to find this I wrote it down. Let me look here. It's in the workbook, and it says, forgiveness is still and quietly does nothing. It merely looks, waits, and judges not.
Mm.
And in other places, Jesus says, you know, you gotta. when you're releasing, what are you releasing? It has to come to our awareness in some way, right? So is this not what's happening right
Yeah.
now? It's like that trash, all the garbage dump is coming up now. And it's not just the people who are in power right now that cause that garbage dump,
Right.
you know? It's coming up, and we're the witnesses. And if we can witness with no judgment, no guilt, I see that. Yes. And then we can release it. We
Yeah.
can let it go, and Holy Spirit can take it away. It'll just dissipate. That's what I think we're doing right
Oh
now.
man, I love that.
And healing comes after that.
Yeah.
True healing is
Yeah.
coming. It's coming. True healing, I just know it. It's coming for on a great, a global scale.
Yeah.
That is what is healing me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man,
And
that is so great. I'm so glad I had never heard that before,
I hadn't
but that's
either.
perfect.
Yeah, a friend of mine told me that story, and I just thought, oh my gosh, it's so true.
Yeah.
So true today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
man, I just love that. That is so perfect. And that's exactly what I want to do. And it's what I'm doing, you know.
yeah,
So it's like I've been using that also as another one of my favorite things out of the course is how to forgive, from what is
yes,
forgiveness in the workbook.
yeah,
And I had written something that just kind of spoke just a little bit, that kind of spoke to me as to how that's working for me. And I was saying that I'm learning to do that. I'm learning not to judge, to look without judging, just to be the
yeah,
witness of it.
yeah.
Um, and that doesn't mean that I'm bypassing. It doesn't mean that I'm
Right,
saying,
right,
oh, well, it's not real. We don't have to worry about it. But no, because this may not be reality, but this is a real experience. And
right,
people are really suffering, not because it's a reality, but because they believe in it. And as long
right.
as we believe in the world, then the world is going to be
Hmm.
this place of suffering
Right.
until we do what you just described,
Yeah.
and that is to witness what we are seeing without judgment. And I began to do that, and it took me a long time. I've got to tell you, it took me several years to get to the place where I stopped judging and I actually
Hmm.
started praying for the
Yes.
people involved and
Yeah.
and caring about them. So
Yeah.
I said, I still see the cruelty of man against man, but I no longer see it in the same way. I see it as a call for love that it is. And
Yeah.
not pitiful calls, just souls trying one thing and then another, always yearning toward God, toward love, even though they may not be consciously aware of it. That's what they're
Hmm.
doing. That's what they
Yeah.
came here to do, just like we
That,
came to do.
that's right.
I just want to help
Yeah.
because, like you said, that's me too. Like we
Yeah.
are inseparable, we are one. So I want to support their efforts in any way that I can. And the way that generally the best way I can do this is to just love them no matter what.
Yes.
Just keep loving them, not believing they are their words or actions, not judging them, not making them guilty, just
Yeah.
loving them. And the
Yeah.
more I'm able to do this, the lovelier the world that I see. So I'm not seeing nearly it's nearly as much upsetting experiences
Hmm.
as I did before, because when I'm looking at it, I'm looking through the eyes of love, and so
Hmm.
I'm just seeing us out there doing the best we can.
Yeah.
Like I might look at something that's affecting people on a very large scale, and I
Hmm.
think to myself, yeah, but that's a lot worse. No, it's not.
Hmm.
It looks a lot worse. But
Right.
Jesus says that there's no, how does he put it? There's no, I can't think of the word right now. There's no
Hierarchy.
hierarchy. There's no hierarchy in illusions. If
Hmm.
it's an illusion, it's an illusion.
Right.
period. It's not like a big illusion, a worse illusion, a better illusion. No, it's just an illusion.
Right.
And so I've stopped looking at it like that. That doesn't mean I don't care, because I do. I have a deep compassion for everyone who's suffering. I know what it
Right.
feels like.
Right.
I've done a lot of suffering myself and still do sometimes. So I know
Hmm.
what that is. And so my heart goes to them. But that doesn't really change the fact. And the fact is that everyone, no matter who it is just doing the best that they can. And if I believed everything they believed, I would be
Hmm.
doing exactly what they're doing, because
Right.
it's our beliefs that drive our behavior and drive
Right.
our words.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I love that
Mm.
story, and I love what
Yeah.
you're doing with it. And thank you for doing it, because I think it matters a great deal
Well,
that all of us who can
yes.
are
Yes.
being the brightest light that we know how to be.
Right. Right.
There's uh, I was thinking about Christian Sundberg. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He
I've
wrote
heard of him.
a walk in the physical. And Christian is
Mm.
unique in that he remembers his life before he came. Not having a near death experience. He literally remembers. He remembers making the choice to be here and why he made that choice and what he was trying to achieve.
I see.
He didn't remember it until he'd healed what he came to heal, and then the memory
Mm.
came back. And he said that he had this writing in his book, which if I had it open, I'd read it to you. But he was saying that we have I hate to quote anybody because I never remember the words. This is how I learned. This is what I learned from it. Put it
Yeah.
that way. That we have our own little personal worlds that we make up. Like this is my personal world is about my kids and my story and
Right.
my whatever, and yours is about yours. But we also have this collective consciousness in which all of us have a part. That's why it is that I recognize flowers in the background for you, and you recognize flowers on mine, because we know
Right.
what flowers are. We've all agreed what flowers are. We don't
Right.
agree on what they mean. Some people are like, ah, this flowers. Other people are like, oh, flowers. They love flowers. So we have our perceptions, but we have certain things that we all recognize.
Hmm.
And how the world as a whole, how the collective consciousness as a whole responds to things
Hmm.
is determined by each of us. But together, like let's say that the majority of people in the world right now, let's say that the majority of people in the world had come to accept that we are one, that we cannot separate ourselves, and that what hurts you hurts me, and I don't want you to hurt, then the world that would create a momentum that would move the entire consciousness in that
Yes.
direction.
Yes.
And if there's a majority of the souls here who are the people here who are maybe very concerned about themselves and not concerned about other people, and I've heard people say things that clearly that's what's happening.
Hmm.
Well, then, if there were enough of them, it would move that momentum in that direction. So the world became more like that. And so, but the thing is, what can I do about it? Well, because I'm one of those souls who can shine a light, I want to shine it. I can't
Hmm.
shine that light if I'm busy judging and hating and
That's
fearing
right.
and slinging
Right.
guilt around.
That's
And so
right.
I can't do that anymore. That
Yeah.
just will not work for me anymore. I'm done with that. And so whenever I think of someone who I see doing something I think is destructive to the majority of people or to anyone, I just love them. And I'm rooting for them. Come on, you can do this. You can
Yeah.
shift that. I know you can,
Yeah.
because you have the same strength of God in you that I have in me.
Yes.
So I know that you can do that, and I just keep uplifting them to the best of my ability. And as I'm doing that, I'm uplifting myself. So,
That's right.
kind
That's
of a
right.
selfish spirituality there, but whatever. That's what seems
That's
to work. That's the
right.
way it seems to work.
That's exactly right.
Well, you had shared with me that you had created a meditation to help with this,
Hmm.
and I would love to be able to share that. If you
Okay.
would like to do that for us, I would join you in that.
I would love to do that. I'll uh, it's a little different every time I do it because I just kind of turn it over and let spirit kind of guide it.
That's the
And
best way.
yeah. So can you give me an idea of how many minutes you want to spend
Just
on
go
this?
ahead. We're good. Just go ahead.
Okay. Okay, because I never know how long.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I will invite you to just close your eyes, and some people like to put their hand on their heart to just connect with that. Connect with your heart. And I like to let the mind and the heart come together and just feel that alignment. And we invite Holy Spirit to guide us through this, to give us an even deeper understanding of oneness. And so we begin with remembering who we are, who I am. We know we are not bodies. Bodies are just our tools, our vehicle. So go inward now and just see if you can touch who you are. Go past the body, go past the personality that ego presents. Go past all the thoughts and feelings and deeds until you touch the true self, capital S. Let the love that you are created to be love, that is our true nature. Feel that love and just let it flow forth and encompass your whole being, for that is what you are. As that love flows and you feel it, take a moment to think about who they is. Who do you see and judge as being bad or evil or doing horrible things? Let that awareness of that person come up, and even let the thoughts about that person come up. Witness this but witness without judgment, witness without blame, guilt, or shame. And as it comes up, let the light of truth shine upon it. And darkness, when brought to truth, can never continue. It just dissipates. And the light shines it away. And the truth stands forever. The truth of who you are, but also the truth of who that person is. The truth of oneness. The truth that these are all illusions. Let the love flow out and encompass that person, surround that person, and their love, who they are, flows towards you as well. For in our true states, that is all there is love. We are one with our Creator. We are one with our brothers and sisters that we see in our physical eyes, individuated bodies, but we are still only one. And let us just embrace each other and feel the oneness and the love flowing to and from until there is just one love, one light, one son, daughter of God. We also remember all of our brothers and sisters who perceive themselves in some type of suffering, pain, illness, attack, harm. We love them as well. And we join with them, with their true higher selves. And we are one. And we are thankful, God. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for guiding us through this. And may we remember this and take this with us throughout the day. And we know that with this love, there is automatic forgiveness. Forgiveness of what has never happened. Forgiveness of what is not there. We forgive ourselves. We forgive others. And I will end with the Ho'oponopono prayer for all. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Thank you for forgiving me. And I forgive myself. And I love you. And it is so. Amen.
Mm, that was just
Hmm.
a beautiful ending. Thank you so much.
I love the
Beautiful, beautiful
Ho'oponopono.
meditation.
Yeah.
I'm sure that people will want to return to that. We're going to close now, but I wanted to say that we'll put Sabrina's information, her contact information in the description. And so if you'd like to get hold of her and talk to her further or whatever, just it'll be there for you to find her. And Sabrina, I hope we can do this again sometime. I've really enjoyed
Abs-
it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Myron, for inviting me.
Yeah, yeah, you're so welcome. Right then. Well, we will see you guys later. Thank you for joining us. And if you found this helpful, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'll be back soon with another episode. All righty. Bye
Bye.
bye.